Okay, recording is in progress. Jessica, do you accept recording this class for Gabo?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. Let me go to the screen again and let me share the screen again. Here you are. So the date today is Wednesday, June 8th, 2022, and this class is for Gabo. It's being recorded for Gabo. Let me close this. And do you remember that we were talking about a city over there in the video resource book? Which city was it?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. But now we are not going to continue talking about San Francisco. Which city do you see right there in this photograph?
New York.
New York. Okay. And which city do you see right here? Let me check it out. Let me close this tool. Okay. Which city do you see here? No, this is not. Let me check it out. Here, there is no city, but what do you see? What do you see here?
The beach.
Ah, it's the beach. Okay. But if you read, there is a city, it's Punta Cana in
Oh,
Dominican
yeah.
Republic. I went there with my wife once. But let's continue. Okay. Now, observe. We are going to continue talking about different cities and different places for tourist attractions, tourist attractions. And we're going to talk about different adjectives, qualities, characteristics, okay, like beautiful, or ugly, like
Okay.
expensive or cheap, adjectives, characteristics, okay? And we are talking about the present perfect tense. Have you ever been there? Do you remember Dr. Smith saying, or the clerk of a hotel saying, have you ever been there? And the
Yes.
doctor said, well, I've been there once, but
When I was a
my
kid.
wife, Domona,
Oh,
hasn't been,
yes.
have never been there, has never been there. Okay, have never been. So we are talking about adverbs of frequency and the words yet and already. So this is like a repetition sometimes, but you include new vocabulary. Okay, so observe. It's really nice. It's a really nice city, New York City. Okay, now what are we talking about? Can you read this here?
Okay. Describe hometowns, cities, and countries.
Okay, you describe your hometown. For example, your hometown is Veracruz, isn't it?
No, Acapulco.
Acapulco. So you were born in Acapulco. Okay, good. Now you are going to describe Acapulco, and I'm going to describe Maracaibo.
Okay.
Okay. Now another one here. Can you say it?
Make recommendations about places to visit.
Okay. A recommendation is a suggestion. A suggestion is an advice. An advice, recommendation, and suggestion, they mean the same. Okay.
Okay.
Advice,
Yeah.
recommendation, and suggestion. And you usually say, you should visit this place, or you should visit this other place, or you shouldn't visit that place. You shouldn't visit this other place. Okay.
Okay.
And you recommend by using should, or you say you don't miss that place, please don't miss it. Okay, you can visit
Yeah.
this. You
Okay.
can use the verb can in order to make recommendations, but the most usual one is should. Okay, so you make recommendations about places to visit. For example, if you come to Guadalajara and you are a tourist, I would recommend going to the Michin
Aquarium.
aquarium because it's beautiful and it is
Yes.
not so expensive. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I think it was about 120 or 80 pesos. I think we paid 80 pesos because of our age, but it is 160 and it's
I
worth
pay
it's
I
worth
pay 250.
250 Michin?
Yeah,
Sure, but if you show your identification as a student, for example, and you are at the university
yeah,
and you are at high school, or you show your identification as an old man or woman, well, this is not your case, of course.
no,
Well,
not
you
yet.
have 50%, 50%. So
Yes, I
if
don't
you
know
pay
that.
250, probably
Um,
it's 125 right now. 130.
yes,
Yeah, it's about 130. And it's good because you watch beautiful animals over there. Now,
yeah.
adjectives to describe places. Can you read the information that is in this pair work? Because you're going to do it with me. I mentioned column A and you mentioned column B. Okay? Now,
Okay.
read it.
Match each word in column A with its opposite in column B. Then add two more pairs of adjectives to the list.
Okay, when you pronounce opposite, repeat opposite.
Opposite.
Opposite. Okay, the pronunciation is the stress is here. Opposite. Opposite. Opposite.
Opposite.
Okay,
Opposite.
opposite. For example, if I tell you beautiful, what do you say?
Um, the beach.
But if I tell you beautiful, what is the opposite?
Oh yeah.
Beautiful
Ugly.
is positive. Tell me something negative. What is it?
Ugly.
Ugly. So letter. What letter is it?
The letter H.
Letter H should be placed here, right? Letter H should be placed here, right?
Yeah.
Ugly, beautiful. I tell you, cheap, what do you say?
Expensive.
Expensive is letter D, so you see expensive here. Okay,
Yeah.
I tell you, clean. The
Mm-hmm.
opposite is here. If you're talking about the air is clean. Okay,
Oh.
skip it. Skip it. If you want to
Oh.
skip it,
Okay.
okay,
No,
continue
I
with
know now.
what is it? What is it?
It's polluted.
Okay,
Polluted.
repeat it after me. Polluted. Polluted.
Polluted. Oh yeah.
Polluted. So if you click it here, you get polluted. Polluted means
Polluted.
the air is contaminated, is
Oh
not
yeah. With
clean.
like a smoke.
Like a smog, yeah, like dust and smoke and smog from the factories, or from the cars and buses, vehicles, okay? And there is
Yeah.
dust. So you go to Mexico City, probably it's polluted because there are so many cars, so much traffic, some
Yes.
at certain hours, certain time. Okay, clean, polluted. What do you say if I tell you interesting? What is the opposite of interesting?
Boring.
Boring. Okay, something that is boring is not interesting. Okay, what do you say for quiet? Quiet.
Quiet is noisy.
Noisy. Quiet, noisy. One in from the other. Number five, letter E. Number five, letter E. Okay, what do you say if I say relaxing? Relaxing.
Stressful.
Stressful. Relaxing, stressful. Okay? The opposite of relaxing is stressful. What do you say for safe?
Safe is dangerous.
Dangerous. Something is, for example, a neighborhood is dangerous. A neighborhood is dangerous, huh? When
Yes, a
there
little bit.
are many bad guys with guns. Boom, boom, boom. It's dangerous. For
Yeah, it's
example,
dangerous.
The Bronx in New York City is a dangerous
Um,
neighborhood.
Here in Guadalajara, it's oblatos.
Oblatos is dangerous here in Guadalajara. I will never go to Oblatos.
Me neither.
No, no, no. Not good, not safe. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how about spacious? Spacious.
Spacious.
The only one which is left. What is it?
Um, it's crowded.
Crowded. Pronounce it
Crow
ow, ow. Crowded.
crowded.
Okay, crowded. Okay, imagine that you are going to take the bus. You're going to take the bus, and there are many people in the bus. The bus is crowded. If there are two or three people, it's spacious. You understand? The same for an elevator. If you're going to take an elevator and there are two or three people in the elevator and you enter, it's spacious for it.
Yes.
Eh? But how about if there are six or seven people in the elevator? My goodness, you are like this.
Yeah.
It's not spacious, it's
And
crowded.
with the
Crowded.
COVID.
Ah, my goodness, impossible. You cannot go there. Huh? You shouldn't enter an elevator or a bus when it is crowded, especially for this situation of the pandemic. Okay? You have to be careful. Okay, now, could you tell me an additional characteristic, an additional adjective, so that I'm going to tell you the opposite? Tell me two characteristics.
Um,
For example, you tell me black, I tell you white. You tell me big,
may-
I tell you small. Huh? You tell me tall, I tell you short. Okay? But tell me another characteristic that
maybe
describes environment or
um far
far,
and
near.
near.
Okay? Far, near. It's okay. Far, far from. Okay. Las Águilas is not far from La Calma. La Calma is near, right? Near my
Yes.
place. Okay? Near, far. Okay, tell me another one, another different that corresponds to a city, a situation, the environment, or whatever. The traffic,
Um,
for example.
warm and cold.
Warm, hot.
Warm
Hot,
and hot.
hot is warm, but what is the
No,
opposite of
cold.
cold? Ah,
Cold.
cold. Hot, cold. Okay? Hot, cold, hot. Okay? Tell me another one. Two others.
Um, mm, I don't know. You say big, yet
Big, okay, big. What
big
is it?
and a
Small,
small
okay. Well,
and
on the way, you're going to learn more and more, but there is one like dirty. You know what dirty means?
oh, yes,
Uh, dirty is almost the same when you say the opposite of clean, okay?
yes,
But when you refer to the air, it's polluted. But when you refer to the streets, are dirty. Dirty,
and
okay?
when you say um weather dry and weather wet,
Dry and wet. That's correct. Above the weather would be dry weather and wet. For example, the weather is wet in San Francisco, right? In California. In the summertime, probably it's wet because of the environment next to the beach. You understand? Probably a little bit wet. It's not dry. But the weather in Sonora is a little bit dry, right? Have you
yes,
ever been
dry
to
and
Sonora?
hot.
Dry and hot?
No, I never.
No, you've never been to Sonora. I've never been to Sonora, and I wouldn't like to go
No,
there because I consider that it is too hot for me. Even though
yeah,
I mean, there is good weather probably in December or January, but I'm not gonna go there. No,
yes,
because of
no.
I mean, somebody have told me that it is not good, not good. Okay, let's go to this compass. Choose two places you know and describe them to your partner using the words in part A. Okay, I can tell you two places I know, and I'm going to give you some characteristics. There is a city in Venezuela but it's called Mérida. But it is not Mérida, Yucatan. No, no.
Uh,
Mérida is another city in Venezuela, right?
oh,
And Mérida is really cold, very cold. Even though in August it's cold,
uh,
it is.
like
And
Canada.
Maracaibo is opposite. Maracaibo is really hot. It's the place, it's the city where I was born. It's very, very hot. You understand? And
Yes.
Maracaibo is dry, dry. Even though there is a big, big lake, it's dry. But there is a period of a year where it is wet. You feel like the air makes you sweat, a lot. And you feel like wet, you know? Oh, you have to be.
Maracaibo is a port.
Yeah, there is a port over there. I'm going to show you. I told you that I was going to show you some photograph of Maracaibo. Okay, I'm going
Yeah.
to send them. So Maracaibo is hot and humid and wet, you know. But that's the kind of hot. And but in Merida is cold and cool and good. It's beautiful. Maracaibo is ugly, but Merida is beautiful. Okay? Tell me a description of two places here in Mexico that you know. Can you describe two places here in Mexico that you know?
Yes. And Acapulco,
Uh-huh.
it's a port
Uh-huh. Acapulco
of
is a port.
Guerrero.
Guerrero is a state.
Guerrero is a state, yes,
Uh-huh.
and it's beautiful.
It's a
Uh,
beautiful.
but but is what is the word?
Somebody told me that it is dangerous because there are many tourists and people have
uh,
money, and there are many people who are thieves over there. No?
in some places, yes,
Some
but
place.
in the
In some neighborhoods, in
center
a
and
touristic center, no
yes, touristic
problem.
center, no, it's okay. But the people of Acapulco is a little um, what is the word? Sucio? ¿Me
Okay,
dijo así?
dirty, dirty.
Dirty, yes.
Okay, but
Yes.
you have to say are. People are dirty.
Oh, our
People are
people
dirty. They don't
are
take care of their clothing.
no about the trash in the
The trash
street.
that they throw on the streets like
Yes,
this.
yes.
Ah, you don't mention you don't mention the people, but you have to say the streets. Some
Oh,
places,
okay.
some streets in Acapulco
Streets.
are dirty, but not all, because this is a touristic city. It's a touristic city.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, okay. Tell me some other city. Do you know another city that you are going to describe?
Mm,
A, a different city, not Acapulco. Mention another one.
yes. In Mexico City, it's the life is very fast um, and the people is
People are plural.
people
People are
are the people are rude.
rude,
Rude,
rude.
yes.
They don't treat one another kindly.
Yes.
They are
No.
not kind. Okay, observe. Kind and rude. Kind,
um, Rude.
lovable, lovely, lovely people. No, rude, rude. Okay,
Everyone.
okay. Everyone is rude. Okay. Now, that's okay. Kind and rude, two different adjectives, okay? Now, let's continue with this conversation that you see here. It looks so relaxing. Let me connect the computer to the... My computer is gonna be... Okay. But now, okay, you can see it looks so relaxing. Hmm? Listen and practice. Pay attention to Ron and Camila. Ron and Camila are talking about this place, which is Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic. Pay attention. and they are describing Punta Cana. I don't know, but it doesn't want to open. Why? Okay.
The sound is
Off. The
off.
sound is
Yes.
off over here.
2.
Okay.
Conversation. It looks so relaxing. Part A. Listen and practice.
That photo is really cool. Where is that?
That's a beach near my house in Punta Cana, in the Dominican Republic.
It looks so relaxing. I've heard the area is really beautiful.
Yeah, it is. The weather is great, and there are some fantastic beaches. The water is really clear, too.
Is it expensive there?
Well, it's not cheap, but prices for tourists can be pretty reasonable.
And how far is it from Santo Domingo?
It's not too far from the capital. About 200 kilometers. A little over 120 miles.
It sounds very interesting. I should plan a trip there sometime.
Okay. Do you have any question about any particular word that you do not understand here? In here? Do you have any questions about any particular words you don't understand in here?
No, everything is okay.
Everything is okay, no problem. Okay, you're gonna be Camila, I'm gonna be Ron. Okay, so please answer my questions. Okay,
Okay.
that photo is really cool. Where is that?
Beach near my house in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic.
Republic. Republic. Repeat it.
Pub-
Republic. Okay. It looks
Republic.
so relaxing. I've heard that the area is really beautiful.
Yeah, it is. The weather is great, and there are some fantastic beaches. The weather is really clear too.
Is it expensive there?
Well, it's not cheap, but prices for a tourist can be pretty reasonable.
And how far is it from Santo Domingo?
It's not it's not too far from the capital, about 200 kilometers, a little over 120 miles.
It
It,
sounds okay. It sounds very interesting. I should plan a visit there sometime. Okay. Now, do you have any question to ask? It's
everything
okay.
is
It's
okay.
okay. You pronounced correctly. You didn't have any problem. Reasonable. Reasonable. Okay. And let's continue with this. You're going to listen to the rest of a conversation. There is a second part of a conversation, but you're going to answer these questions. What does Camila, or this question, because there is only one question. What does Camila say about the entertainment in Punta Cana? There is something additional apart from the beaches. I don't
Okay.
know. Pay attention. Probably eating or drinking something special. I don't know. Let me check it out.
Page 72. Exercise 2. Part B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. What does Camilla say about entertainment in Punta Cana?
So, what kinds of things are there to do in Punta Cana?
Oh, there's so much to do. There are beautiful beaches, of course. You can go scuba diving, see dolphins, ride a horse on the beach.
Really? I've never ridden a horse on the beach. It sounds fun. Anything else?
Yes, there are a lot of nightclubs. Dominicans love to dance.
That's great. I love to dance too.
Okay, tell me, do you listen to any special activities? Tell me one. One.
The nightclubs
Nightclubs. What do they do in the nightclubs?
dance.
Dance, of course. Dominicans, people from the Dominican Republic dance a lot. They like music. They like dancing.
Yes.
Okay, something additional apart from the nightclubs. Tell me.
Ride horses at the beach.
Ride horses at the beach. Apart from riding horses at the beach, something additional.
Swimming? Oh, scuba diving.
Scuba diving. Scuba diving. You know,
Scuba
when
diving.
you swim under the sea in the ocean, right? It's a scuba
Yeah.
diving or probably snorkeling. Okay, snorkeling.
Yeah.
I love snorkeling. I love snorkeling. Okay, an additional activity apart from scuba diving, going to a nightclub, and riding horses at the beach. What else? Did you listen to anything special apart from that?
No, I think only these activities.
Only these is
I
okay.
think.
That's okay. Good. If there was another, I don't see any answer here. I don't see any box so that we can check the answers, but there are no answers. There should have been another another answer here, but I don't see any. Okay, let's continue with the next page, page 73. Pay attention to page 73. What do we have? Grammar focus. You know what we are going to study in the grammar focus? Adverbs. What are the adverbs? For example, really, fairly, very, to. Adverbs are words which are connected with an adjective and they modify the adjective. For example, if you say fast, you say very fast, right? If you say, for example, expensive, you can say really expensive. But instead of that, if you say, for example, let's say polluted, the air is polluted. Wow, it's too polluted. You cannot breathe. Oh, oh, it's
Oh, yeah.
suffocating. You understand? Too polluted. So you notice the difference between really, fairly. Fairly is like saying so-so, not very, very, but kind of. You understand? When you say fairly expensive, it means it is not really, really expensive. It is not very cheap, but it's in the middle. It's like a balance, okay? Do you understand this? The difference between really, fairly, very, and too? Really, fairly, very, and too? It goes rising, okay? Or decreasing,
Okay.
depending on the adjective. Depending on the adjective. So adverbs before the adjectives. Listen to this grammar focus, please. Pay attention.
Page 73. Exercise 3. Grammar focus. Adverbs before adjectives.
Punta Cana is really nice. It's a really nice place. It's fairly expensive. It's a fairly expensive destination. It's not very big. It's not a very big city. New York is too noisy and it's too crowded for me.
Okay, observe the adverbs here. What are the adverbs? To, extremely, okay? Can you please repeat? To,
Oh,
extremely,
extremely,
very,
very,
really,
really,
pretty,
pretty,
or pretty or pretty, pretty or pretty. You can say, well, whatever you want. Pretty, expensive, pretty
pretty,
expensive. Okay, pretty or pretty. Okay, fairly,
fairly,
somewhat, somewhat.
somewhat,
When you say fairly expensive, you say somewhat expensive. So-so, okay? So-so, somewhat, okay? Now, do you have any question about this or something that you don't understand?
mm, I don't know. when when I can use fairly in a sentence.
Okay, really, it means uh, it's nice. For example, really nice. When you say fairly, it's a little bit nicer. You say it's nicer. When you say very nice, wow, it means that you exclaim. But when you say too, it is really. Too is like extremely. So it goes in a degree. This is the highest degree. This is the same degree. Too expensive, extremely expensive. I cannot buy it. Okay, I'm not going to pay for it. When you say very, it's something similar to really. Some people consider that very is similar to really. But when you say pretty, mm, not exactly. This in the middle. And fairly is the lowest or somewhat. It's not so much. Not so much. Okay? But it
Okay.
is
Yeah.
pretty. Okay. It it changes a little bit the adjective. When you say noisy, let's say noisy. If you go to the discotheque, is a discotheque noisy?
Yes.
Yeah, it's too noisy. Okay, too noisy. You cannot say it's fairly noisy. Fairly noisy is when you go to a restaurant. You go to a restaurant and the music is too high. You say fairly,
Yes, and
fairly
the
noisy.
people
Okay,
are talking.
but if you say it's really noisy, kind of, kind of. But when you say very or to is extremely, going to extremely. So the condition goes from rising the condition, okay, rising. You see the difference,
Yes.
okay?
Okay.
Esto es como el extremo. Y esto es como la situación más baja. Intermedios están very, really and pretty. Intercambian su posición, no hay problema. ¿Ok? ¿Qué
Okay.
quiere decir que algo está moderadamente ruidoso o algo ruidoso? Tú dices fairly, pero no es que afecta demasiado. ¿Ok? When it doesn't affect you in the negative form, you say somewhat noisy or fairly noisy. Okay, the time is going to be up. I would like you to observe that we are going to continue after the break right here, adverbs before adjectives. Okay, so I'm going to tell you that we are going to stop this here. Okay, I'm going to stay. Okay, I'm going to stop right now because the time is being up. Okay,
Okay.
so 3 or 4 minutes. In 3 or 4 minutes, I'll connect again. Have a break, okay? 4 or 5, no more. Okay? See ya.
Okay.
See you
See
later.
you.